2. If we could see ourselves in the future, what would we think? If we could watch ourselves, would you give yourself advice to be? If we could dance again, I would never let you go, you see. If we could look around, you will never see the sunlight. If we could forget everything the bad that ever happened, would it always come to an end? Would you always walk around with love? Would you satisfy yourself in the moonlight? That one will work now. Good evening, all of you lovely people. Let me put a little more light in here. Ooh, look what I'm wearing. Hi. Hi, Jenny, Edson, Sue, Fega, Mai, Jacob, Brian, Jessica, Michelle. I got Emilio in the house, Eric, Lalo. So good to see all of you here. Brian, Netsor on YouTube. Oh, I guess we can turn that down now. Although I kind of like it, just kind of lingering there. We'll just turn down the filter. Let that last note ring. So, hi. Oh my gosh. So Michelle on Facebook says it's freaking snowing here. Where is there? So that I know what state you're talking about. But I'm sure it's back east somewhere. So the week's been awesome, except for that I had a migraine for 2.5 days. That half day was today. So basically I took something before the show so the pain would go down a little bit. So I should be all right, but pain. Isn't it funny how pain works? So anyway, that first thing that I started with was a song that I wrote when I was in the park. And a lot of the demo material that I'm going to play today is going to be really rough, and I'm going to explain like how they were recorded and why they were recorded, where they were recorded, because it's a different approach and it's one of those weird things that happens. And we will explore some of the darker corners of Abox, although we've done this before. I think we did it when Halloween was around, but in this case, this isn't Halloween, but it's a different type of dark. So Claudio B says, I suffer from them. Migraines? Yeah, gotta do magnesium and all the different things that I do, but I can't stop the barometric pressure. Something happens when I know that the weather's gonna change, and it just does it. So, not the best of days when it comes to this. And yes, as Sue mentioned here, her sinuses were kicking her ass. Yeah, they're kicking my ass too. Although in oh, and I lost that chat. It's funny. Every time I think I got it. Leanne on YouTube says migraines suck. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They suck. So, um, so obviously because there were migraines, everything that I had planned for this week actually didn't pan out, except for a few funny things. But so, what was I going to tell you? Well, first off, hi, welcome back. We are at 41. Yep, 41. I guess I could have just put that on the screen. But yeah, we're at number 41. No, I'm not drinking vino because I have a migraine, so that might not work. Vino would only make it worse. So no vino tonight for me. But been rough this week. I'm trying to finish up this artwork for the 12-inch. And Fega, I gotta say, you were so nice to promote that tonight was the night we were gonna announce all the winners, and it's not that night. I have to listen to everything one more time, and I was so close, and then the migraine hit, and then it makes listening to music awful. I don't know if any of you had migraines. You think music's going to help, but it doesn't. It just makes it pound. So obviously anything with 4/4 is not going to work. So it makes me hate everything. So I actually did not listen to much music this week. But it's been a great week for cryptocurrency, I have to say, which is why I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt. As we speak, hold on, I will tell you right now, because this is interesting to me. I know some of you are probably like, why is he so into this? But if you only understood. Let's see. So, as of right now, wow, that's crazy. So as of right now, Bitcoin is at $47,769. That's a lot of money. So for some, that's life-changing. Oh, man. So, yeah. I am happy about it, which is why I wore my Bitcoin shirt today. But so I'm looking at it's hard to actually talk to you here and not look at the chats, because then I want to look at the chats. So, hi, Joe. Hi, Brian. I don't know if I said hi to Brian earlier, but I know I didn't say hi to Joe. How you doing, Joe? Anna. Looks like we got most of the usuals, which is good. Emilio's here. Mars. Yeah. So it's interesting that you brought up Mars. I'm going to play a song, and then we're going to come back to Mars, but because Mars is very interesting for today. So, the usual suspects. So I'm going to start things off with a song by Pacific Deep. Well, it's my song, but Pacific Deep is doing it. And it's a song called Rise. And it's from the tribute record. And I picked this particular song because it talks about cycles. Cycles of things that happen in time. They could be bad things, they could be good things, but it's very important to learn from our history. Um, and There's an old saying, um, and this is not to be political, but it gets to be political if you think about it, no matter what side of the fence you're on with politics. Remember, history gets written by the lions, not by the animals the lions ate. So it's very, very interesting to make sure that you have a perspective on history that's real and unique. So Rise was written about how certain things could disappear from books if we're not careful, or recordings, or actual books, because there was book burnings in the 1940s. So this was one of my reactions to that type of thing, and the song Rise came out of those thoughts. So I'll play that, then we'll come back and we'll go to Mars, if that makes sense. So here's Rise, and for visuals, we'll use the intro visual because it was cool. We'll keep that. We'll keep this going.
I can watch the time go by like a broken tape machine, playing over all the parts of a forgotten scene.
Such an awesome cover. Seriously, that's so awesome. Which is funny because they're going to contrast all the dinky demos I'm going to play today, which is hilarious. But there's something interesting that's happened, which I need to talk about, which is that obviously we played all the outtakes and B-sides and all that stuff. We've done it because now we're at 41 of these Quaranstreams. So obviously there is a finite number of demos that I'm going to find, you know what I mean? But last year, I actually recorded about 40 different demos. But the reason that I don't play those the way that I like to play the really old ones is because they were done in a very different way. In the old days, my setup was in a room. So some of the, like 90% of the arrangement or whatever the arrangement was going to be was in that demo. And it was a matter of just hitting record and then getting a decent rehearsal of the demo. Today, that would be done a little differently. I would probably work on a demo somewhere, wherever I happen to be, if it's not in the studio. And then I would bring it to the studio, then flush it out, rehearse it, and the first demos would be recorded at rehearsals. So they would be kind of like a full arrangement. A funny thing, I know Paul has these. When we did distances, for example, I played the demos of the songs at a rehearsal hall for the band. So basically, Danya was there, Paul was there, and I played the demos, and Paul recorded them on his phone, like taking it out of the mixer. So we have demos from distances, for example, that were recorded that way. I don't have any of those, but I know Paul does, including some of the songs that never came out. So I'll have to hit him up for some of those and see if he's still got them. Michelle on Facebook asks if I'm in LA. I'm in Long Beach. So yes, Los Angeles, basically. And this chair is creaking. It's a creaky chair. Yeah, this is not going to last, this one. I can hear it. It sounds funny. It's almost like I want to sample it. But so, or it's my bones creaking. But so these demos in particular, they're a little different, and I'll explain why they're so radically different in the way that they were recorded. Last year, when we found ourselves in lockdown, for some reason, the studio was not conducive to be in. First of all, I can't have speakers on in here because it's too small. It's not so much a problem with neighbors. It's more of a problem with when I turn speakers on in here, the mic feeds back because there's nowhere for those waves to go. It's like literally like from here to here, I can almost touch each wall. So you really can't have speakers on in here. Even at low volume, it's kind of sucky. So I don't do it. So also to not go stir crazy during lockdown, what I would do is I would go to this lagoon early in the morning, take my little Mac, and I basically had a screen capture program on it. And I would work on a reactor, create some instruments, create what I call effect chains. These are very important to me now. And so once I had an instrument or once I had an effect chain, that would cause me to write a song, and at spur of the moment, I would hit record. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because some of the sounds from the park, the birds, the trees, leaves randomly falling on the laptop, and yes, it does make a sound when they scrape across the laptop. All of that stuff, I incorporated into the demos because there was really no choice. But as a result, they actually became part of the sound that I was getting. So I'm digging that part. So now I have to take these songs and obviously flesh them out into next phase. But for tonight, I thought as we go through some of those other songs, some of the other material from Abox or from the tribute or, whatever we're talking about, that I would play some of these demos so you get to hear them in their very raw state. So this next one is basically I was in the park. I decided I wanted to work on a synth that I was designing, finished it, got an idea, and I was not really sitting in the best place on earth in the park. So there was kids, there was all kinds of noise going on. So I decided that rather than trying to turn that down, I turned it up and I made it part of the sound. So that's what happened. So here's the demo. This song is called Adaptation. And I don't think it even has drums. I think it has like random samples that I just threw in there when I was messing around. So it's very raw. So, but you get to hear progression, because what's going to happen is as I choose some of these are the ones I'm going to start really working on. So you heard the first one. So now I'm going to play the second one. So for that, we'll go back to, we'll just stick on the overhead for this, but this is called Adaptation. Take it all, take it all. Everything that you see is yours for you and me. Take it all. We're in time. Ignore the ignorant. Face up what you will face up now. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm playing these demos. Oh my God. So yeah, thank you. Um, so I want you to picture this because it's very important that you figure this out. As dinky as these sound, right? So there's no sequencing going on. I have to play with one hand, I'm singing, and with the other hand, I'm manipulating the sounds, bringing in things and taking them out. So it's basically two hands and a voice. And I'm in the park. There's kids playing maybe about 30 feet away from me. And occasionally I can see that, the moms or the dads are looking over like, is he singing? Like, like, is he just sitting there singing right now? Like what is he doing? And, the setup looks kind of weird too. So I would sit under this tree at this concrete table, and I would just sit there and just work on sound design. And as songs came, I would just do a quick demo. But this one I actually liked a lot, so it was part of the design. So even the effect chains were part of the actual synth, so I could sing through it. And there's a very specific module that's in there, and this is for the tech people, but for people that don't know what this is, I'm going to explain it to you. There's a device in there that what it's doing is it's taking in outside sounds, and as it comes in, every time I hit a key, it's chopping it up and playing a random slice of it. So let's say that the microphone's picking up a bus going by, the kids talking, and then just random, things like me doing this. And what it's doing, it's randomly taking little bits of it and playing it every time I hit a key. Every time I'm hitting a key, it's trying to play back one of those samples randomly. So that's how you get all those weird rhythmic things. And on top of that, there's a sample of basically a bunch of weird sounds just going through. In the end, you can kind of hear them. And so anyway, so that's how that was done. And as we go through some of these other ones, I'll explain like how each one came to be, because they're all weird like that. So eventually, obviously, this will have drums and it will be, more refined. But what I'm trying to get at when I'm doing demos like this is the basic melody. And sometimes the thought in my head coming out is a partial, like a partial lyric that's almost finished. And I tend to work that way quick. So Fega just asked, what program was that? That was actually all Reactor, 100% Reactor. And to capture it, all I used was a video capture program that was on the computer that was also capturing the sound card. So you could hear everything I was doing, the outside world, and whatever Reactor was doing. So that's how that, that's how that works. So anyway, about Mars. So I don't know if you guys saw my post on Twitter or Facebook where I showed the green Abox logo, the happy face. I should have put the happy face somewhere. I don't even have it somewhere that I could show you. But the one. Oh, here we go. The happy face with, that one. So I was watching this documentary on weird space anomalies. It was really cool. Like they were showing like really compelling evidence. And then I saw this. And tell me what you think. I'm just going to play the video and then you just tell me what you think of this. This is so funny to me. Here we go. Just watch this. Yeah, right here.
This highly geometric structure appearing on a Martian cliffside looks like an artificially constructed two-story building. In the opinion of an officially published article, the first floor walls of the port are facing the camera. The second floor is a well-defined square and is turned at a precise 45-degree angle to the first floor. Centered in the midst of the roof of that squared second floor is an abrupt, sharp circle, just as helicopters would use on our tall buildings. Near this structure, the article continues, is a large, open, U-shaped culvert or conduit out of which is flowing a great deal of liquid. This highly...
Oops. So, yeah, when I was watching that, I was like, hey, that looks like my logo. So I was all happy about it. So oh, you guys didn't see it? I thought everyone could see it. Oh, man. It's the Chanel logo, someone says. No, it's my logo. My logo, not Chanel's. So, yeah, I was watching that and I saw it and I was like, oh, man, I have to find that. I couldn't find it on YouTube. It was on my Amazon Prime. And so I broke out my camera and I got a quick shot of it. So, anyway, so we'll use that as our guide for this next one. So, this song is funny because it's from the effects of stereo TV. And when we were writing it, and I say we, is because I was writing it, but then my friend Dave came over and he made some remark and I was like, I'm going to put this somewhere in this song, I'm going to put the words, when California falls into the ocean. So you guys want to look at that again? All right, one more time. I'll show it one more time. Here it goes. Look at the.
This highly geometric structure, appearing on a Martian cliffside, looks like an artificially constructed two-story building. In the opinion of an officially published article,
watch when they zoom out.
The first floor walls of the port are facing the camera. The second floor is a well-defined square and is turned at a precise 45-degree angle
there you go.
to the first floor.
Well, it needs it to be round.
In the midst of the roof of that squared second floor is an abrupt, sharp circle, just as helicopters would use on our tall buildings. Near this structure, the article continues, is a large.
So I think I'm Martian, good. Yeah, I think I'm Martian.
Conduit out of.
I'm Martian. So anyway, so I wrote this song and I called it Atlantis. And I was thinking about, again, how history is shaped. Because if you really think about it, if California does fall into the ocean, which eventually it will, would another civilization recognize all our technology once it was buried under millions and millions of, fossilized dirt? When they finally bring it up, would we recognize it? So, anyway, this is what I was thinking about when I wrote this song. So, it's pushing towards the darker side, but you'll notice that the music is happy at the end, which is the dichotomy of Abox, obviously. Happy music, somewhat sad lyrics sometimes, or the other way around. Really sad music, but then make the lyric happy. Because I think that's the fun thing, is like the music may be pushing your emotions one way, but the lyrics are pushing your emotions in another way. And I don't even do that on purpose. That just seems to happen. But anyway, so I'm going to play that song from Stereo TV. This is Atlantis. And while we're looking at Atlantis, I guess we'll watch this. Here we go.
I can see, although the future isn't free, I give in, you gave out, and this robot inside of my head, he's the right. I watch these lines stretch out to 10, falling from the out beneath your skin. You will have begin. There's always moments you can't heal. I don't want to go on. This is vain, this is wrong. Why are you still frightened? If you can hold me till the end, I will always call you friend. Just sense the pain. I survive, you survive, we will all survive. When California falls in the ocean.
So funny. Oh man, so funny. Surf's up in the Arizonas, because that's what would happen, right? Arizona becomes prime property. So yeah. So there's two things. There was, so obviously the song was recorded and everything was lined up, everything was fine, except for the end. In the end, I kept the demo part of the song because I liked how the drums were all like really lazy and like, you know, it was just lazy. Like those drums were just lazy. They weren't put on a grid. So you could hear that, you know, it's a little off and it's just all crazy. Makes me miss playing drums. I need to get a drum set. See, that's another reason why I got to get out of this little room. I want to have a drum. I want to have a drum set and I want to have a piano in my room. And that's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm going to make that happen. Pandemic or no pandemic, it's going to happen. So, anyway, so that was Atlantis. And so basically, when that song was recorded, the demo part had these loose drums. When I resequenced the song to be recorded, the ending part did not have the loose drums, but then we decided to bring those back in because they just sounded better, which is funny how, you know, bye-bye, California. Hello, new West Coast. Yeah, right? So, you know, but anyway, I've been struggling with these thoughts of leaving California and if I'm going to leave California or if I'm going to find a different faraway place in California to live. Because things here are getting a little weird. So I think I need to move. But for the moment, I can't. So I'm stuck here for a little bit longer, but we shall see. So now a demo. So this one, I'm going to, which one am I playing here? Oh yeah. So when I would do my morning walks, there's two things that I would do. One would be I would drive to that lagoon to work, you know, with my laptop at this particular park. I would write songs there. But sometimes I'll get up really early in the morning and I'll take a walk along basically the coastline in Long Beach. And that leads up to sorry. Had to cough there. It's just dust, don't worry. Don't you find it funny that if you have, because I have allergies, I think I should talk about this because it's funny, and then I'll get back to my story. But you know, one reason that I hate these things right here. One of the reasons why I hate these things is that whenever I put them on, my allergies kick in just like that. So I can't help it. I start sneezing the entire time that I'm wearing the mask. And so when I'm in a store and I have to sneeze a lot. Everybody looks at me like, uh-oh. So I feel like I got to get a shirt that says, it's not the vid, I just have allergies, so that people won't like run away in horror every time I'm in a store. I think it's hilarious. It happens to me all the time, and I can't help it. It's because it irritates the shit out of me, and I start sneezing like crazy. And of course, when I take it off, when I'm back at the car and I take the mask off, I'm fine and I don't sneeze again. And it doesn't even matter like which mask it is or how many masks I have. It always happens. So I feel like I have to get that shirt. It's not allergy. It's just my allergies, man. It's not the vid. So anyway, there's a reason why I'm telling you this story. Anyway, so I would walk along the beach and I would find this area where I'd sit there, look at the sea, kind of meditate, write in my journal, and then from there I would walk back to my favorite cafe and I would sit there for a while and work. That's where I would work. And obviously when the pandemic hit and they closed all our cafes, that was no longer possible. And that's fine. I could deal with, not having my coffee. That's not a big deal. But I would go out to this particular area, look outside, out into the ocean, and I'd get really happy when I saw dolphins. Like, they would make me really happy. And one day it was kind of rainy, and I went out there, and I was watching for a little while, and the dolphins came out, and they were playing, and I was watching the dolphins playing. Walked home, and it started to drizzle. So I sat outside, just sitting outside where I, wouldn't get wet. And basically this song just came to me, and again, same thing. I was working on a sound. I was working on a method of capturing the sound a certain way. And then this demo happened. So I'm going to play that one right now. So we get to hear a demo again. So this one's called Empty Spaces. And if you pay attention, you will hear me mention the dolphins because they were part of the story that day. And so as I was trying to make up lyrics to go with this melody, this whole story unfolded. And basically when I transcribed the lyrics, I wound up keeping almost 90% of them. So from this version to the next, it's not going to be that different when it comes to the lyrics, but it's interesting how that happens. Which I guess the takeaway here that I try to tell people all the time is that when you live your life, meaning you take those walks, despite the fact that, people are saying it's scary out there, when you decide to live and you go and do the things that you normally do, that's when inspiration hits. It's not going to hit if you just think, I need to write a song today and I think I want to write about the dolphins. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to happen when you are there and you see the dolphins and you really think about what you just saw, and it's in your head and it's, floating around, and you're seeing, the sad faces and, the things that are going on around you. Those are the things that are going to affect you. Those are the things that are going to go into the music. So what you're going to notice is the music is really sad, even though the lyrics are sort of happy, which is weird, but yeah. And Kathy says, you're so lucky to live in a beautiful place. I happen to have gotten lucky in the neighborhood that we're in. That's true. And yes, I am lucky. However, Yeah, it's a small little place, but for now, it's fine. It'll be okay. Um, but it's vital, yeah, like TMT just says, and I was going to say, use the same word. How's that? We use the same word. Sounds like it's vital, but you're right. As long as you're writing, it's vital to actually live, because if you're not living, you can't express life. You can try to express it based on memories, like you could say, oh, I remember when my heart was broken, and you can write a good song. But it's not going to be the same song as my heart just got broken and I don't know what to do except touch this piano. When you do that, I think that's when real songs come out. So even though this is really dinky and my voice is all off and I'm literally sitting outside trying to write a song while it's raining, um, I think I like this one. So I thought I would play this one for you guys. But here we go. So this is called Empty Places. Oh, and the weird sound is my voice. It's just being looped. I think it's the right one. Yeah, I hope so.
I'm sitting in my garden.
You can hear the clacking of the keys because there was no keyboard. So it's basically me using the keys on the keyboard to actually play sounds, which is kind of funny. But I was happy with that one because it was one of those things where I'm literally sitting outside and I just wrote a song and I thought, wow, like how crazy is this that we can do this now? Like, and yeah, the microphone's the built-in mic inside the computer. There's nothing technical on the outside, but all the technical things were happening in the actual setup, which is, it's very complex actually. It sounds simpler than it is. It's very complex. And so Leanne says it had a church organ like effect. It's very organish, yeah. But it's just one of those funny things. So that was Empty Spaces. So that was a demo. So this next one that I'm going to play, like when it's time to play a song again. I don't know. Is it? No. So one of the things that I found that has been very frustrating for me, though, has been that I don't know if I think it's laziness, and I think it goes with laziness and being affected by everything that surrounds you, so that it keeps you from the room you're supposed to be in, which is this room is the room I'm supposed to be in the most, because you figure if I was here, I could work on arrangements and get stuff done faster than being outside. So one of the things I am kind of mad at myself for is that last year, I think I wound up recording about 40 demos like this. So I have like 40 of these oddball bits of songs. And that's quite a number, man. So I have 40. I'm not saying all of them are good, but because some of them are really terrible. Maybe you think some of these are terrible. I don't know. But needless to say, I have 40 of them. And it's been difficult to figure out what the next step is. Like, how do I go from this to the next production stage? And it used to be so much easier. But I think it used to be easier because in the last room I was in, the piano was in the other side of the room. So if I recorded something on the piano, it was already inside the machine it needed to be in. So I would be able to, go to the next step. Here, it's kind of like I have to start over every time. So that's been kind of like the lame factor. But one thing I am going to do is that I think I am going to tear this thing apart a little bit again to try to figure out how to work better in this room, because I think it's possible. It just needs a little help. So anyway, I'm rambling. So the other thing I was investigating was now that some of the businesses are allowed to be open again, I've noticed that the cafe is open. So I actually can go to the cafe now. And that was really nice that they were able to reopen. So the cafe, some of the restaurants are open, and that's good. I am really, really happy to see that, actually. And not even for selfish reasons. I just think it's important for the business owner. I don't want them to lose that was their dream. And if you've ever been to the library in Long Beach, it's such an amazing cafe. I never want that to go away. So I'm so happy that it's back. So I'll probably be going over there to work on arrangements and things. But now that it's back, it means rehearsals may start up again. So that's something I'm going to find out Monday, basically, if they reopened. And if they did, that means I can go rehearse. And so it'll be nice. It will be very nice to be able to play loud. And in the rehearsal room, they have a drum kit. So I'll be able to just sit down behind some drums and play. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been getting more migraines, is that I'm not getting enough enough of the physical angst. I need to get it out, and the best way to get it out is drums. And there's a song that I wrote that you will understand how frustrated I am when you hear this, but that's a little bit later. We'll save that one. So yeah. So Mai says on Facebook, it's been sad to see so many small businesses fold with all of this. Yeah, exactly. It does make me sad. So that balance of, when to open, when not to open, this has been an ongoing thing. But in the end, we all have to survive too. So I understand both sides of the debate, but I stand firm on, we can't stay locked up forever. It just doesn't work. And even the science is saying it doesn't work. So it's not the right way. So I'm happy to see that businesses are opening. Oh, Stephen, so you've been to the library cafe? Yeah, I love the library. I literally, I don't know if you know this, Stephen, but I live like 2.5 blocks away from it. So if you're in town and you want to like hang out at the library, let me know. Because that's like a haunt. I love that place, especially when I used to go at night. It was so awesome. So anyway, so I'm gonna play a song. This one is from 1988, and technically this is a demo, but this wound up on the album called 19, and this is called "It's Your World." And in it, I was thinking about how a kid might think about war, how they might view war versus the adults. Because I find that the adults have all the reasons in the world for doing it or engaging in, all manner of, let's call it polarizing discourse or war of any kind. But kids are very different. So I was thinking about that when I wrote this, and it's like, again, it's a little bit of a darker side. But this is called "It's Your World." Don't let it fall apart. And then I'll come back.
justified by a common cause. Into your world, don't let it fall apart. Into your world, don't let it fall apart. Saw a little girl with the tears in her eyes. She asked me, why do we wage war? It caught me unawares, I had nothing to say, so I told her a lie. I said, sometimes wars are fought to protect your basic rights, or to regain your land. She said, I don't believe you. She said, I don't believe you. Remember, into your world, don't let it fall apart. 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 Into your world, don't let it fall apart.
Indeed, it's your world. Don't let it fall apart. Let's not. So that's one where you can see the music and the lyrics kind of match. It's a little on the darker edges. Neither that the music was happy nor the lyrics were that happy. Funny. But so obviously there's a lot going on, both good and bad, because on the good side of things, we are going through a weird change in the financial sector. If anyone that was following the Reddit tales and everything that was going on with GameStop. So I think it's interesting that while we have all this weird news happening on this side of the planet, if you look at cryptocurrency and what's happening with Bitcoin, it like that side of it is we're going through a change. Like the internet's changing before our eyes, and most people aren't even noticing it. So for those of you that are listening who have some Bitcoin or who have some Ethereum or any of the cryptocurrencies, hey, it's the new, I just made something up. Is that when Christians get into cryptocurrencies? Sorry, that was funny to me. I don't know why. Cryptocurrency. You know, now it's going to get stuck in my head, and I'm going to say cryptocurrency every time I talk about it. Cryptocurrency. Yes. Yeah, I know, Mike. Seriously, Ethereum is $1,860 for one coin. And just realize that by the end of the week, I say by Monday, it could be probably hit 2,000. And I think Bitcoin will hit 50,000 before the weekend's over. There may be some sideways action there, but I got a feeling it's going to do it. Yeah. Aliens, George on YouTube says, aliens buy XRP. Yep. I know, man. Blessed be your money. Cryptocurrencies. Oh my God, we just came up with a term. That's so funny. Yeah, man. There's some serious stuff going on there. And Denise says, write a song about it. I don't know that I'm going to write a song about that, but I can tell you that I will write a song about the changes it's going to make, because I have a feeling that it's going to definitely help. It's definitely helping me survive this time without shows. If it wasn't for that stuff, I think I'd be going crazy. It gives me a little peace of mind. Let me put it to you that way. Knowing that I'm not completely broke, that there's some money somewhere that I can refer to. So, because I don't know if you know this, but I think I've said this a million times, but I lived on music. So music was my full-time job. So the pandemic basically killed all my shows. So that means nothing coming in, because I don't rely on, like sales from Bandcamp to pay rent. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't help, but it doesn't just pay the rent. It paying the rent means performing. Emilio says, love Doge and Elon. I actually love Dogecoin, and by the way, the reason that I never talk about Dogecoin is because I know that people will go out and buy it and lose a lot of money and not understand the point of losing a lot of money on Doge. So that's why I don't say anything about it, but I actually do like it. But the one that I've been championing as of late is one called The Graph. I really like it. The way that since we're getting on the topic of crypto or cryptocurrencies, is that I follow projects that I think will change the world, meaning the way that the internet works. If you look at not just that, like if a cryptocurrency comes out and says, we're going to be the next money, I'm like, okay, there's like 1,000 of those. So I look at like the ones that could really change things. So in the realm of XRP and stellar lumens, those can really change something. The graph, that can really change something. Chainlink, that can really change something. So these things, yeah, I know. Engine, yes, I know. So there's so many. Emilio's laughing at me right now. He's like, you don't shill all the other coins. I know. I'm a newbie. So just understand, folks, it's risky. It is very risky. But at the same time, I feel like my bank is worse. So I don't know. I think it's going to change my life. So I really believe it, and it's happening. So I'm not even going to, it's not an arguable point, because I can just look at my life and say, oh my God, it's changing my life. So Mike says, I thought Doge was a joke. It is a joke. But think about this joke. Let's pretend for a minute. Let's say, what's Doge going for right now? What, 6 cents, 7 cents? And George says, live in the now and there is no risk. So it's 7 cents. Let's say that I put a $500 bet on that 7 cents. And suddenly Doge jumps to 30 cents or 50 cents. Do you realize what just happened to your coin? I mean, do you realize the gains that you've just made with that bet? So it's a bet. It's like playing the horses, literally, when it comes to those kinds of coins. But if you just happen to catch them at the right time, yeah, it can make you a lot of money, or you can lose a lot of money. So on the penny coins, we'll call them penny coins, it is a risk. And realize it's a risk you're either willing to take or you're not willing to take. So for example, when I looked at the graph, it was 27 cents. And I thought, I'm going to take a chance on this coin because I believe in what they're doing. And so I put money into it. So seriously, now I made I'm not lying here, I made over $300 and something on that investment. So I consider that a pretty good bet. I could lose, but I might win. And unlike Vegas, the house doesn't always win. This is one of those places where it's like you're making some very interesting bets, and you might win, you might lose, and chances are you're going to lose some money here and there. But there's some that if you think about what they're for, you won't lose money. Anyway, that's my cryptocurrency, the Christian cryptocurrency segment of this thing. Yes, ADA too. I know. Cardano. I could go down the list and I can tell you why I like all of them. So, yeah, they each have their value. Polkadot. I like it. So I'm going to play a demo. So this one, this is another one that was written in the park. Now, the weird thing about this one is that there was a homeless dude that kept walking by me as I was trying to write the song. And I think he kind of got into it. And he basically gave me the title of this song. Like, I was thinking about his situation, basically. And being locked up, and then, trying to be outside and everyone, kind of going crazy, and you know what I mean? It exerts a sort of mental pressure on a person. And I kept thinking about this, and this word popped into my head, Menticide. And I was like, wow, that is such a cool title for a song. But could I turn that into a song? Could I turn that word into a song? And that guy just kept walking by me. And there was a lot of traffic noise, and the sound that I was working on was really grungy, and there was just a lot of noise, and it just fit. So this song is called Menticide. I will probably flesh this out, but this is very rough. So this is a very rough demo. So I'm going to play that one, and then we'll come back. Okay, music time. Overhead, closer, yes. Did I just do that? Menticide. Hear the birds.
No birds, no machines, no collect, move around. Menticide, I was menticide. Menticide, my brain will slide.
Move around. Make no sound. He shut up. He cut down. Menticide. I've been menticide. Menticide. The heart will slide. Heart will slide. The heart will slide. Menticide. Hard reset. You will forget what once was, what will be. Menticide, menticide, menticide. My brain will slide. My brain will slide. Oh, you heard the birds. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to play. So, it's a hard one because it's like, like I'm trying to do this rhythm, and it's not on a keyboard. It would have been easier if I had a keyboard. It was on the computer's keyboard, and I'm trying to like formulate words, and this guy's walking by, so you can't hear him say it, but I incorporated it into the lyrics because you hear me say like, he walked by, said shut up. It's because he actually walked by me, goes, shut up. I wish I would have gotten it. I wish I would have gotten that moment when he said, shut up. Because, here I am trying to sing when I'm in the park and he's walking by and everything. But it was funny. But it goes to show you that the inspiration doesn't come from you sitting there trying to figure out words. The inspiration comes when you're living your life and doing things, and life throws you things like a homeless man walking by going, you shut up. And I'm like, hey, that's a great lyric. You shut up. And so to me, that's why I like these kind of things. So that one is one that I'm going to flesh out. So this is going to be a song. Which is gonna, so I'm gonna play. There's only one last song to play, really, but I'm gonna play some. We're gonna talk a little bit, and I'll play a few, 2 more demos, maybe 2 more. So I guess the theme is that if you're creative, you can try to script out the way things are going to be. Like, how can I put this? Oh, I know exactly. So the other day, I saw a video on YouTube from Jack White talking about creative tips. It was basically some segments of some interviews he'd done. And one of the tips that I heard in that interview that I really liked, and I'll share it with you, is that he said, I can't go in thinking about the song I'm going to write. He goes, because that never works. What he does do is he says, I do the setup, meaning all the musicians are in the right spot. Every instrument we need is in the right place. And then when we show up, something happens, and that's how you write. It doesn't happen when everyone just sits down and says, oh, let's write a song together. It very rarely happens like that for me. So for me, it's a lot easier to work it out where I'm living some interesting adventure, and that adventure is what drives the song. And I think that's more important. So it's the same with painting. Like, I'll put out all the materials that I need, but I don't even like most artists, I don't like looking at a white page. So I actually keep a pile of papers that are all stained and dirty. I will routinely stain papers. When I don't feel like drawing, I'll just stain papers with weird colors or something. And to me, something will hit me later. Like, I'll pull that paper up and I'll be like, oh, there's a painting hidden in there. So I would not have come up with that song had the homeless guy not walked by. And I know I definitely wouldn't have had the lyric had he not said, shut up, So the melody, everything, like came together because the guy was there. And so to me, those are the cool things. Yes, Denise, God has this crazy thing called timing. Yes, he does. So now I'm going to play you a demo, another one. So this is a trip because this is literally a dream. So I had a dream that basically I had fallen off a cliff. So in the dream, I'm falling, and usually falling dreams, if you have a falling dream, you know what happens, right? You're falling, you're seeing the ground coming up to you, and boom, you wake up. Wow, I had a nightmare. So basically, this is what happened. I was having the falling dream, and I'd fallen off a cliff. The difference is that somewhere in the dream, I realized I'm dreaming. And as I'm falling, I was like, I'm in control of this dream. I can stop myself from falling. And suddenly, I wasn't falling. I was now flying. And I was laughing my ass off. Because first, it starts off with, I am falling and it's the worst thing, and it suddenly becomes the best thing. So that's part of the song. And then I decided to go to the lagoon, sit at the park and write a song and think about this dream I had had. The problem was that when I got there, they had put new COVID-19 signs out and they had sealed the entire park. So there was nothing but these weird red pieces of tape everywhere and basically saying, the park is closed. You can't be here. Well, I was pretty mad at that because I was like, it's a park. So I went in the park and I sat there and I worked out this song. But the problem was that now I had two dichotomies in my head. Now I had the dream I had had about the nightmare that wasn't really a nightmare. And now here I was in a park faced with a real nightmare. So it kind of effed with my head a little bit. And so the song came out this way. So I'm going to play you that song right now. It's called I Had a Nightmare. So you'll get the whole story because I just told you the story. But I hope you're having fun with this. What a weird night. Oh my God. What am I doing playing these demos? I must be crazy. I think we'll turn the moon on for this one. Yeah. Just the moon.
dream I had last night. I was falling to my death from the mountain top. It was the oddest thing, because I was smiling. It was the oddest thing, because I was smiling. Then I woke up and I realized the nightmare is very rare. No one is smiling now. At least I can tell. No one is smiling now. At least I can tell. No one is smiling now. I can tell. I had a nightmare.
Yeah. So traffic noise, such weird stuff going on in there. But yeah, that was done literally in the park, surrounded by the red tape that everywhere I looked, it just said closed due to COVID everywhere. So I was like, I'm in the middle of the nightmare. What I was dreaming was the good part. So, oh, and by the way, I love that. You wrote, my daughter used to be a lucid dreamer, and she had what she called red X dreams, wherein she could exit them by hitting the red X at the corner of the scene. I love that. That's a nice way to control your dream. I don't like this one. Click. Oh man, so awesome. So, um, so it feels weird to play the next track because I think I gotta let some time pass because the next one is like the polar opposite of that song. It is not calming at all. So, but it's a demo, so I want to play stuff for you. We're almost there too. Oh wow. Oh shoot. Um, but I love dreaming. So I actually like look forward to going to bed, by the way. I love going to sleep because I'm always cognizant that the dreams are going to be, I always tell myself I'm going to go on adventures so I can remember them. And I try to remember all the dreams I've had. But that particular one was just really crazy. And um, again, it's about life because if you live your life, you have experiences. The experiences are what feed your memories. In turn, you will remember these things. It's a very interesting thing because, and I'm not just talking about lockdowns, I'm talking about in general, like we walk around with our phones and like, let's say that, we're seeing this beautiful scene and it's sort of like, oh, let's take a picture of it. Click. I've got it. You've got it visually, but you don't have it completely. Especially if the only thing you're doing is clicking around to get the right pictures of the scene, but you're not enjoying it as the scene. So you have to enjoy life as an experience. So if you experience that part of life, that's when you really have it's been really affecting you, because you're not going to have a memory where you're like, oh yeah, I remember like 5 years ago we were in this club and I just snapped a whole bunch of pictures and put them on Instagram. Like, tell me that really happened and I just give up if that really happens. But I don't think that really happens. It's always, I was somewhere, I met someone, or I went here, this happened. I had a flat tire on the road, this happened. These kinds of things lead to experiences, good and bad, but we can learn from the bad, we can enjoy the good, and we can accept that life is going to give us both, because there's no such thing as you get a free ride and you're not going to suffer in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe that you can get away from that. I think it's part of being human. We have to suffer. So, So this next track I'm going to play has a video. And I hesitated to do this one because of the nature of it. But let me make sure it's set up. Hold on. I don't know that I actually set it up. Did I?
This highly geometric structure,
obviously
on
not.
a Martian cliffside, looks like an artificially constructed.
No, it is. I just have to switch back to it, I guess. No, it is. Okay, cool. So this one this is a reaction to what I saw was that there was people in the UK, Germany, the Netherlands that were having quite a reaction to the lockdowns. And they were out on the streets and they were basically fighting the police due to the lockdowns. And it's not that I'm condoning that aspect of it. It's not that aspect that I'm condoning here. It's that I understand the frustration of it gets to a point where it's too much and you've had enough and it all starts to break down. And so to me, this is this is where we lead when all these different things are happening at once. You can't help but feel the frustration. Whether that's frustration on one side or the other, it's this deepening frustration with the way things are. And it has to come out. The angst and the anxiety and the anger, it has to come out, because if you don't express it, that only makes it build up. So if you're wondering why you see so much toxicity, let's say online, I think a lot of it has to do with pent up anxieties that people have, and they don't know how to get it out. So one morning, I had the house to myself. I was working on sound design, yes, because this is how all of this stuff happens. And this particular sound, this is one sound in my voice. One sound. And what happened was that as I was playing with this, I had just finished watching some of those, some of the footage of those people that were protesting the lockdowns. And I could feel that frustration coming off of them. And I felt it. I felt that frustration that we've all had enough of all of it. Basically all of it. So I got mad and this came out. And I had no control over it. So I decided to write it. I decided to record it. You guys are funny. So anyway, here we go. So I'm going to play it. This is called Exodus Animus. So talk about the dark side. Here's the dark side. If there's little kids present, you might want to have them not in the room. Oh my God. But this is me. This is how I feel sometimes. Can't help it. And I lost it. I just lost it. Maybe I'm not supposed to play it. Oh, yes, I am.
Hey, I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of your bullshit scheme. I had enough. I had enough. You wanna check me with your fear? I had enough. I had enough. You won't give in to the dream everyone's in their eyes. I wanna go outside. Yes, you know I am true. And I don't know why. Hey, I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of your bullshit lies. I had enough. I had enough of the data sets that makes no sense. You know the one, never been a paper you read. I wanna go outside. Yes, you know it's true. I wanna be the one who goes outside, side, 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 side. Hey, I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of your bullshit dream. I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of the scheme you schemed. I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of the world stands bent upon me tonight. Everything is going down, but you know the reason why. I wanna go outside, and I don't know why. I wanna live my life again. I feel routines of being out of the gene of me. Bring the fucking mask, you say. I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of your bullshit scheme. I had enough. I had enough. And you can cancel me anytime you want. You can cancel me anytime you want. You can cancel me anytime you want. You say.
Oh man, I'm going to put that up on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah, I was mad. I was plenty mad. But you know what? The reason I was really mad was that I didn't like that they were trying to censor those things as if it wasn't happening. See, you can't do that. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that this isn't happening, because if it's happening, our duty is to report it. If there's a set of people in the world that aren't satisfied with the status quo, we need to be able to see what they have to say. And this is what leads to those frustrations and the things that happen in this country, is because you can't just suppress everything. You can try, but that doesn't work. People just get mad, and they'll get madder and madder and madder. All the riots from last year showed us this. You can't just suppress things. It doesn't work. Suppression never works. People will get tired of it, and they will either, you know. So, no, Mikey, I know what you're saying. You saw it reported. What I'm trying to say is I saw it censored. I literally saw it censored. It was not reported the way it should have been reported. There was so much going on. So it made me mad. Wrote a song about it. That's what it is. Rebellion is part of our democracy. Yes. So there's a guy. So Mikey says he didn't see it, but I'm going to explain something to you that happened. There's a guy by the name of, oh gosh. He's basically running for mayor of London. There's a guy that's running for mayor of London right now. And basically they tried to arrest him twice now, just for being on the street with his van, trying to pass out leaflets. And, but they suppressed the videos of the, those kinds of things. And so he's been posting, his campaign and saying like, hey, these people come out to try to arrest us whenever we're trying to do campaigning, but they don't arrest the other guy. And they even changed some laws in the UK about flyers, like the way that you pass out flyers. So these kinds of things are going on. So it makes me mad when I don't see it. So I really do believe there's some really heavy censorship suppression going on. And it's not going to last, because obviously people are going to get mad. So hence I wrote an angry song. And you can tell I felt it. I was pissed. So anyway, we're coming to that time where it's going to be time to say goodnight. Yes, correct. Censorship is not part of our democracy. I don't believe in it. I believe that everyone has a right to say what they need to say. Even the chick that got fired from The Mandalorian, I actually don't feel that she was justifiably fired. I mean, I don't think she was justifiably fired. I feel that's terrible. We can't keep doing that. It's going to get to a point where no one's going to want to say anything. And then you just have a bland, boring world. And our world was never meant to be boring. So to me, it's just weird stuff going on. It's just, anyway. Hi, Steve. Nice. So moving on, I'm going to play a song by, well, it's my song, but it's Channel 69. And they're doing Welcome to the End. It's going to be the last song of the evening. But tomorrow I'll put that video up, that other one. And I may even put up a different one that I have that's in the halfway works too. But I thought that demo I'll put up tomorrow. Anyway, and you can censor yourself. Exactly, I can censor myself. But Yeah. Wait. Have you guys, hold on, Fega wrote something. I want to read it. Have you guys seen the post of cops using songs while they are being recorded to stop programs from recording them due to copyright? That's strange, clever, but strange, and really wrong. That's so weird. Cheers from Dallas. Awesome. Dallas freelance video. Nice. Nice that you were here, Bilbo. Nice. Thank you for stopping by. Kathy, TMT, Ira, Mike, of course. Stevo. Nice to see you coming at the end. It wasn't all crazy like that. It was quite calm before. So it's so funny. You guys are funny. But anyway, I love you guys, and this is Channel 69 doing Welcome to the End. And after this, it's good night. But you remember, you can always watch the show on repeat. I will put all the timestamps and all that stuff in this one, because I don't think that there's many copyright things I have to worry about with this. So tomorrow when I put it up on YouTube, or tomorrow when it's on YouTube, I will put the timestamps in. And thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed myself. The migraine's almost gone, which is kind of cool. I think I just sweated it out in this room. And I will thank you for linking that, Figa. I will have to check it out, actually. Just stay cool, man. Stay cool with people. Even if you don't agree with them, just stay cool. That's what we got to do. Because no matter what, we're going to have to live together, you know? Otherwise, you're going to have two United States, and that's not going to be fun at all. There's not going to be any fun in that. So be kind to each other, and start collecting those coins. That's all I can say. We're going to need them. So start collecting them. Here we go. Channel 69 takes us out.
Welcome to the end. The universe expands. Everyone is glad as the sun descends. And your self-esteem comes back from where it's been. We are all indebted to everything it brings. Know how everything is connected and reflected now.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?